Hi there, my name is Bowie. I use they, them pronouns. Welcome to your training session. This session is mobility for people who chest bind. We're going to be working through a bunch of movements that help get some movement through your ribs, shoulders, and shoulder blades. So if you find that you chest bind and get a lot of upper back, neck, stiffness, and soreness, friend, this could very well be the session for you. You're welcome to follow along to whatever feels good for you. You don't have to hold positions as long as I hold them, and you don't have to be able to move the way that I move. So the way I move and the way you, it may be a bit different, and that is 100% okay. We're all where we're at with our bodies, and our bodies all move uniquely. So feel good about working with where you're at, because it is 100% perfect. I want to acknowledge the original custodians of this land on which this video is being recorded, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. This video is brought to you by Proud to Play. Friend, we're going to begin on the floor. This whole session is actually on the floor, so if you are not on the floor or on something flat to lay on, please join me. And we're going to start by coming onto our stomachs. If you don't feel comfortable laying on your stomach, and feeling your chest contacting the ground, please lay on your back and feel good about that. That's totally okay as well. Do what feels good for you. So that is another option there for you if you like. We're going to come down onto our stomach or back. Tops of the feet resting on the floor, or your legs just relax if you are on your back. Just turning your head sideways. If you're going to lay on your back and you feel good about it, you can rest both your hands on your stomach, or one hand above your chest and one hand on your stomach. If you're laying like I am, you're going to cross your hands, bring them to under your head, and you can just turn your head to one side here. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels good for you. And we're just going to start with some breathing. I want you, if you can, to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just taking time. You're not taking big breaths. A regular U-size breath is perfect. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I want you to begin to take notice of the sensation of your torso rising and falling. Whether you're on your stomach like I am, or laying on your back with your hands resting on your torso. Just noticing the rise and fall of your torso as you breathe in and out. Taking your time. And just noticing where you're feeling that rise and fall. Are you noticing that your chest moves more than your stomach moves? Or does your stomach move followed by your chest? But just bringing your attention to that rise and fall, and really feeling where you're noticing your breath entering and leaving your torso. Nice slow breaths here. Regardless of where you're feeling your breath, it's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with either. When we do chest bind, it's very often that we end up breathing a little bit higher in the chest, and we breathe a little bit shallower because of that. So this is an opportunity to just introduce our breath a little deeper into our body. If you're binding now, I would maybe recommend, if you feel comfortable to just take your bind off, just to allow your ribs to move a little bit more easily as you breathe here. If you don't feel comfortable to and you want to keep your bind on, that's okay. Just doing your best to breathe in, bringing your breath down into your stomach and having your ribs expand as much as they can within the binder. And we're just noticing that rise and fall of our torso. If you're noticing more movement in your chest and you want to bring your attention to your stomach as you breathe in. So breathing in and bringing your attention to your belly button, and every inhale, seeing if you can get it to expand. If you're laying on your stomach, you can use the floor to help you feel that rise and fall, which is why we're laying on our stomachs. It's a really great way to show our bodies where our breath is coming into. But if you're laying on your back and your hands are on your stomach, that works just as well too. As you breathe in, bring your breath down to your stomach. You're not trying to push your stomach out. So don't try and force that breath into your stomach. We're just breathing and allowing a little bit of a rise and fall. At first it may seem a little bit unnatural or uncomfortable if you have been breathing a little bit shallower, but that's okay. Just doing your best. Breathing in, allowing your stomach to fill. Breathing out, allowing it to sink. Nice and slow, nice and controlled breaths. When you're ready, if you're on your stomach, you begin to move your head. Bring your elbows to under your shoulders and coming up onto your hands and knees. If you're on your back, you can roll over and also come to your hands and knees. Either way, this is where we want to end up. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You can have your toes curled under or tops of the feet on the floor, whatever feels good for you. From here, we're going to take our hands and we're going to step them just a little bit forward so they're under our eyes more than under our shoulders. I'm going to sit back towards our heels, getting to wherever it is that you can get to and feeling good about bringing your knees a little bit wider if you like as well. We're going to rock forward over our hands, sit back towards our heels, bringing your chest as low to the floor as you feel good about here too. Rocking forward, sitting back, nice and slow. If you want to hold this position here for a moment because it's feeling a bit nice, maybe in between your shoulders, feel good about that. It's all good. Moving through whatever pace works for you. You can start adding a little bit of a breathing pattern here as well. As you sit back, breathing in. As you rock forward, breathing out. Breathing in through the nose as you sit back. Breathing out through the mouth as you rock forward. Just taking your time. In this forward position, feel good about just squeezing your butt a little bit if it feels a little bit uncomfortable on your lower back. That's it, just taking your time, inviting that movement through your shoulders, through your hips. I'm going to sit back on our heels. Want to rock forward. One more time, we're going to hold this forward position. From here, you can just breathe normally. We're going to look right, left. Just look right and left, holding the position, feeling good about that. One more time each side. So it's sitting back onto our heels. One more time. We're going to rock ourselves forward. We're going to do exactly the same thing again. Looking right, Looking left, right, left. One more time, each side. Right, left. Sitting back onto our heels. You can bring your hands a little bit closer if you like, bring your chest a little bit more upright. We're going to stay in this seated back position here. From here, we're going to look up and then tuck our chin down towards the collarbone, looking down. It's nice and slow. Looking up and down. You can add a breathing pattern here if you like. You can breathe in as you're looking down. Breathe out as you look up. One more time. It's coming back to a neutral, kind of forward-looking position. Going to look right and left. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Just taking your time, getting to wherever it is that you can get to. You might find you're a bit stiffer on one side than the other. That's totally okay. Wherever you're at, just work with that. It's all good. That's it. One more time each side. Amazing. From here, we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. Bring your knees back to under your hips if they aren't there already. Again, walking our hands forward, more towards under our eyes. We're going to curl your toes under here if they weren't curled under already. We're going to lift our knees up, push our butts back and up towards the roof, and reach our chest down towards our toes. Feel good about having a little bit of a bend in the knee here if you like. We're going to shift our weight forward towards our hands, dropping our hips down towards the floor. You can either hover your knees here or rest your knees on the floor. Do what feels right for you. Looking up and either pushing your hips straight back up into that top position or bringing your knees to the floor, back to hands and knees, resetting, going again. But working with where you're at, with what feels good for you. Rocking forward, taking your time here. Again, either coming back to hands and knees or pushing your hips straight back up. Try out both. Feel which one you prefer and just go with that. Taking your time. If you need to take a moment between each one, that's totally okay as well. Work within your limits with what feels good for you. That's it. We're going to do 2 more up and down. That's it. 1 more up, 1 more down. Perfect, that's it. Coming back to hands and knees. We're going to come down onto our backs. I'm going to spin around this way so I can stay talking to you. Laying down flat. We're going to take our arms and we're going to reach them right up over our heads. We're going to reach our fingertips away. We're going to point our toes down. We're going to get as long as we can here. really reaching ourselves out. A couple of nice big breaths in and out. One more. Keeping that stretch happening. Every time you breathe in, see if you can stretch out a little bit longer. We're just going to relax. We're going to bring our arms down by our sides. From here, we're going to sweep our arms around the sides. Breathing in, and the arms come up over our fronts. Breathing out, we're going to just do some nice slow in-breaths as we sweep our arms out to the sides. Breathing out as our arms come up over the top of our bodies, back down to our hips. Inviting a nice bit of movement through the sides of our shoulders, through our shoulder blades. Getting everything moving here. Just taking your time. Stretching those arms up as tall as you can as they are up beside your ears. Breathing out, coming over the top. Doing really well. Just keep it going. That's it. One more time. That's it. And relaxing our arms down to our sides. We're going to bring our arms out to our sides now to about shoulder level. We're going to take one hand, we're going to bring it up across our body, we're going to reach it towards the hand on the opposite side. Reaching over, it's okay to lift. It's okay to lift that top shoulder, reaching for that hand, getting to wherever it is you can get to. We're going to take a moment here, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to come back over to our starting position, and we're going to swap sides. Same thing again, we reach our opposite hand up, across and over to our opposite hand. Oh, it doesn't matter if we can't get quite as far on this side, depending on how tight we are. Breath in and out. Coming back nice and slow. We're going to alternate here, left and right, taking your time. Slowly reaching across, doing your best to keep the backs of your hips on the floor. Breath in and out. Coming back. One more time. On this side, yes. Taking that breath in and out. That's it. Alrighty, last time each side. Just holding that position, doing your best to relax your hips away. You might find you're bracing a little bit through your legs, so using that breath to have them relax. Alrighty, last time. Reaching over. And we're going to come now, hands down our sides, sitting up. Finishing off these movements by taking one leg and sitting it out in front of us, reaching our other leg back. We're just going to take a moment sitting here. Breathing in through the nose, Out through the mouth. You might find that you're a bit tight through this hip. That's okay. And when you're ready, you're going to bring the opposite hand to the bent leg across to that side. To sit either in front of the knee or a little bit to the side of it, depending on how balance is feeling. But just bring it across your body as best you can. With our now free hand, we're going to take it and we're just going to reach our elbow back, twist. If you're feeling good about it, you can reach your arm up a little, but don't try and force that. Coming back down, we're going to reach through the space here. So reaching back with our elbow. That's it. Breathe and reach. You're going to breathe out as you rotate. Breathe in as you come down, reach through. You might feel a bit wobbly here, that's okay. Just slowly working your way through. Do 2 more. Last one. Hand comes to the floor. We bring them apart. We're going to step that front leg back or slide it back. And we're going to swap sides so you can come to hands and knees. Bring that opposite leg through. Give it some assistance if you like. Help it get to where it's going to get to. Don't force it though. Eventually, it's going to end up sitting wherever you're at based on how tight you are through your leg. So that's okay. Wherever it gets to, perfect. So we're going to do exactly the same thing here, but on the opposite side. So we take that opposite hand to our bent knee. We bring it across our body, just as far as what feels good for you. We take this free hand now. We're going to breathe in, reach through, breathe out, rotate. Oh my gosh, it's okay if one side is much tighter than the other. It's working with where you're at. Reaching that elbow up. Turning at the hips as best you can. Looking up towards the roof as you're rotating. It's okay if one side is much stiffer. Just be really gentle with that rotation. Only go so far as what you can while you can keep breathing and your breath doesn't catch. Two more. Last one. Hand comes back down. Step that leg back. And we're going to come back down onto our stomachs. Or onto your back if you feel more comfortable too. Again, just working with where you're at. Crossing your hands, we're going to come back down to laying on our stomachs, turning our head to one side, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, bring our attention to that rise and fall of our torso. Allowing your breath to gently expand your stomach and your ribs as you breathe in, and let them sink down as you breathe out. And it's not about making big breaths. A regular U-sized breath is perfect. It's just about inviting some more movement through our stomachs, through our ribs as we inhale. Our torso moves three-dimensionally. It can move forwards and backwards and out to the sides as well. So when we breathe, we can invite it to expand in all those directions. So breathing in, we feel our stomachs, our ribs expand. We breathe out, everything sinks gently back down. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just taking your time, focusing on that movement of your torso. Inviting your ribs to expand, all those little muscles in between each rib to get a little stretch. It's especially important when we chest bind because they get a little bit smushed from being in a binder. Just getting a feel for that movement, for your stomach to expand, followed by your ribs, everything to sink down together as you exhale. Just taking your time with each breath. And when you're feeling ready, you can begin to start moving. Gently opening your eyes if they were closed. Maybe shifting your fingers, shifting your feet. Slowly moving your body out of that position. And when you're ready, coming to sitting. Just taking your time. Well done, friend. I hope you feel a little bit more relaxed through your shoulders, through your back. Maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable with your breathing, a little less restricted. Thank you for joining me. I know you can work through this anytime you like, even any of these, even just the breathing is a really great practice before you bind and after you bind at the start and end of each day, just to get a little bit more movement through the ribs, which long term makes a big difference. Thanks for joining me, and I really hope that you can join me again next session. And until then, have a rad as day.